Let's be for real. If you clicked on this video, you probably don't play any of these guys. Or maybe you do, but then you have other problems to worry about if you still complain about heals. You probably play one of these. This makes sense, since your ideal range being intimacy with the enemy team does set you up to be taking way more damage than the pussies in your backline. Does this mean you should act as a sentient shield and soak up a bullet hell just to do your job? No. Maybe it's a little more complicated than that, but every set of rules has those exceptions anyway. Everything I'll talk about in this video is super important and applicable to almost everybody, but some parts are more addressed to tanks and other parts vice versa. Not everything is one-to-one. So with that, let's start with Genji as an example. Duh. He's the one with the wholesome 100 Reddit 2016 ass meme anyway. So yeah, why does Genji always need healing? You know, Reinhardt needs healing all the time because he's the big one at the front, getting shot, and he can't shoot back. He has to go in. See, from a gold support player's perspective, Genji doesn't fit that same description at all. Just group up, right? But even that gold Genji understands sitting in the back with his team is not his job. So he goes in like a hero and dies over and over. No heals, right? This scenario happens all the time because low-level players have a gross misunderstanding of individual play and team play. They don't get that one complements the other. It's not going in versus grouping up or dive versus peel. It's just doing your damn job correctly in a vacuum. You can't go around 9 corners and convert the 4th dimension into traversable space just to go in deeper and actually expect the healing you need for a successful flank. Maybe a better Ana would find an angle that can support you, but you don't deserve the better Anas yet. You have to be able to play with the gold Anas. Go on backline in 1v2? No, I won't be healed. Hold an aggressive angle to secure important positions? Maybe, but I didn't get healed last time. Stay in the back and left click? No. So which is it? Do I just keep stalking my BAP or Ana or whoever to make sure they can always see me? No, it's supposed to be doing my job well in a vacuum. You ever been in this situation? I'm sure you have. Everyone's gonna give you different answers to this. They could tell you either of the extremes or even lazier, it depends. My answer is the 4 horsemen of unemployment. Timing, pathing, killbox, and mechanics. I made a video on flanking specifically that goes over the first 3 in that context, linked at the top right of your screen and in the description, but in this video there'll be a whole other explanation for them. Timing is the simplest concept to understand, but possibly the hardest to implement consistently, because it relies on a teammate. I know, that's very hard to take in. But the premise is to share attention from the enemy team with your tank. Or at least a teammate at all. Your combined health pool in all technicalities means there's less chance of death that stops the engage. And your combined threat means you'll actually likely kill the target, and therefore need no healing. Possibly the single greatest misunderstanding in lower ranks that causes this toxic relationship between supports and the other roles is that someone's HP is either entirely the responsibility of the player or their support. The Ryan one trick in silver thinks any and all HP missing from his health bar is the Mercy's fault or some shit. And the Ana in the same lobby that's done nothing but shoot her Ryan is telling Genji to stay with the team or get a health pack. All while that Genji is dashing straight into the first support he sees every fight. It's like trying to get 5 random high school dropouts to do a senior year university project together, but secretly telling each one beforehand that they're the only smart one? That is a shit analogy. Why can't I just let the scenario speak for itself? The point is, your HP is a shared responsibility between you, your support, and, believe it or not, your other teammates. To a lesser extent. I know this probably doesn't make sense right now, but it will when you think about the very basic concept of uptime. Uptime is, in essence, the time that you are most valuable, as opposed to downtime, where you are in a state so useless, you're actually best off doing nothing and waiting for when you're in a state to start your uptime. Sound weird? Sorry, here's what I mean. Let's look at Winton. Winton has what I think is the simplest, most in-your-face application of uptime and downtime thanks to this kid. He's super close, that's really distracting. He's super close range with 1 mobility cooldown. which is just under half the cooldown of his bubble, which he needs in every engage. So when he has both cooldowns available, he jumps in, bubbles, fights for around 6 seconds, jumps out, and 6 seconds of downtime later, both cooldowns are ready again. Uptime, downtime. Making sense? Yeah, it's simple. So why do so many of you fuck it up? Do you know what most people under Masters do in this situation? Of course you do, you're one of them. They peek out and shoot, or even worse, they go in, all because of the average player's fear of being useless. You're so afraid of not constantly being the carry, not constantly putting in all the work. You're so scared that the moment you stop getting value, your trash teammates will die and throw your game. So you end up throwing in their stead. This ego shit is 99% of the hardstyle problem, because look how simple this line of thinking is. Winston's alternate fire is his only option at this downtime range. So when he peaks, the best he can do is land, what, 60 damage? But he's basically guaranteed to get shot in his fat ass tank face for like 200 damage in that same period. Do it twice, now you're low HP. Now when Leap and Bubble are off cooldown, you either can't go in because you're low, or get healed back to full and go in and oh my god, where's my Genji? Why is he dead? He's so trapped. You know why he's dead? Because both your supports were sticking their healing so far up your ass, you could taste it, and couldn't spare a second to look at him. Because you wanted to do 60 damage instead of letting your supports play the game. Doing literally nothing and just being behind cover during your downtime, especially if the enemy comp has good poke, is the best thing you can do. And it's misunderstood because HP isn't treated like a resource in lower ranks. It's almost treated more like ammo. Why do you think low rank support players are so obsessed with their healing stat? In the same way low rank DPS players are obsessed with their damage stat. They all treat HP like ammo, where it should constantly be spent and replenished over and over, because the responsibility of it being kept up is pinned to 2 full ass players. Spending HP doesn't feel like spending to y'all. It only matters when it's close to 0. Imagine if, just a thought experiment here, if the more HP you had, the more damage you dealt. As like a core game mechanic. Just think of the implications. That's how you should treat your HP. Never lose HP you don't need to lose, and suddenly everyone on your team, yes, including you, will get better healing and will stop complaining. Wait a minute. Oh, right. Of course, this still doesn't really explain the do your own job thing in regards to team play. Because I know some of you watching right now are that hypothetical Genji player, and I can hear your neurons already firing at the blessed news that there is a new excuse in town. So it's my tank's fault I'm not getting healed, that's it. No dumbass, I told you I'm addressing everyone. And that's what brings up the second haunts. Killbox. The killbox is always some shit that I swear to y'all is deep, but here it's simple. In that first little scenario we made up where Genji going in won't get healed and Genji staying back won't do anything, there actually is a middle point. A zone determined by the map and the team comps that can be understood simply as where everyone is looking. So Genji could set up at a piece of cover where a target will have to cross, and only engage them when they cross said area. At which point both the Genji and his target will be visible to his team, and therefore assistable, i.e. you'll get healed hopefully. Now, you're probably thinking, well, I don't know what the fuck y'all be thinking, that this killbox shit sounds very defense-y. What if no targets have to cross anything? So here comes the third haunts, pathing. The pathing haunts is more attacky, but both of these haunts are still racing in any part of any match. In short, your pathing helps you get in and out of anything as best as possible. You gonna dash into this widow from main? Nah, your head could get blown sweep off, or she starts strafing so hard she actually creates a shadow clone. You're better off fall climbing from here to catch her off guard and get a good shot in, on top of saving dash. And for extra points, you want to have a resourceless exit route, in case you spent everything in the fight. Getting in for cheap means an easier fight, and an exit strategy means you can get to safety and then get healed, by that healer that thinks you're throwing. It doesn't help your case to need healing before you do anything. That's always on you. But a good support player will heal you during your uptime, and almost any support player can heal you after. You see, pathing just solves your problem at the root. You might think I'm being reductive when I say you don't need healing if you don't take damage, right? But in reality, where's the issue? You, on average, have 250 health and a defensive cooldown to work with, but most of you never start your intended fight with that. You start it after an awkward stumble through so much unintended poke, and then ask other players to help. Why ask for like 500 or more effective HP from other players when you have such a powerful and simple strategy to start your fights exactly how you want them? I might make a solo video for pathing, it's actually a really underappreciated skill. The final haunts, the one I can't really teach you, mechanics. Goes without saying, you're not gonna get shit done if you can't hit your shots. In all seriousness, aim and mechanics went from being really overrated by the whole community, and especially by characters like Genji, to kinda having a split in the middle. The aim heads who haven't used their brain for anything besides complex motor function for the past decade, and the relatively new game sense heads who VOD review and watch Spylo to death when they should just be spending more than 15 seconds on Kovacs. So I think keeping mechanics mentioned in a clearly game sense centered video is important to not let more people fall into the opposite of the trap people were falling into 4 or 5 years ago. Please learn to aim and practice the shit out of it. I'm speaking to you and myself here. These 4 skills, if mastered, will make you play like you're unemployed. And all 4 greatly influence your ability to play without help, or with really bad help. These work in every single rank, and it's just a matter of self-awareness, knowledge, good training habits, consistency, and mental. Not your teammates. It really should go without saying by now, but people still think their completely randomized teammates of similar MMR are the reason they haven't seen anything above Diamond in 10 years. Okay, end of video. I hope you enjoyed and or learned something. If this video speaks to any other souls you can think of, please feel free to tell them about it. I'm surprised I haven't seen this exact issue tackled anywhere on YouTube. It's like the #1 complaint of the plat in the chat, and I'm gonna be aiming to make more videos that are exactly this kind of deal, where it's a specific kind of looking into your soul and pulling out your thoughts problem. Hopefully. So if that sounds useful, make sure to subscribe to see them. Other than that, thanks for watching. Salam.